Attention, all curious minds, innovators, and trendsetters. It's time to pause, lean in, and get ready for an extraordinary journey as we dive deep into the fascinating realms of life, technology, entertainment, and business. Let's explore, learn, and grow together. Brace yourselves, for the next thrilling episodes of Hipther Talks is about to take off. Counting down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we go.
Hi everyone, Zoltan here. We're back again with Hipther Talks, and we're sticking to an interesting topic. It's the Polish gambling industry, but not just that. We have a special guest here today. She's been recently joining our conferences in Poland and in Prague. It's Dr. Justyna Grusza-Głębicka. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name correctly because
Perfect. Don't worry about it. Hi everyone.
All right, yeah, because recently we were in Vilnius at hosting a conference, and there was Stanislav there from Poland, and I was telling him that we are stopping on our way home in Lodz, and he said that's not Lodz, it's Łódź. So I was like, oh my God, I can't know.
Polish language is very difficult, so don't worry about it. And my surname is difficult also, so yeah, you pronounce it very good.
All right, yeah, and I was just wondering, maybe during this conferences I was pronouncing everything wrong when I was pronouncing the name of everybody, but yeah.
No one noticed.
Okay, good. So we have this tradition here on Hipther Talks that we like to give the opportunity for our guest to say a few words about themselves. So Justyna, could you tell us a bit about yourself to the audience?
Yes, I'm a lawyer based in Warsaw and Białystok. I have my own law company, and my main specialization is gambling law. I'm also PhD, and my topic of my dissertation was about state monopoly under gambling industry. So yeah, I studied this topic both academically and in practice, but not only gambling law is my specialization, also compliance aspects, AML, audits. So I have broad profile of my services.
All right. So Justyna is also a very serious person we know from our conferences. So yeah, you are in for a treat today, guys. So Justyna, you've become a recognizable voice in the gambling law space, and that happened very fast. Congratulations for that. And I'm interested about, when did your first step onto the conference stage happen? And did you expect it would lead to becoming such now you're a prominent figure in the industry?
Thank you for seeing it that way. That's very kind. I think I'm blushing. When did I first step into a conference stage? It's hard to remember. It was quite a while ago, as I have been active in the academic world for some time now. And I have participated in quite a few conferences. In general, I have a lot of experience with public speaking because I appear in court quite often. But speaking in a foreign language has been, and I still think it is, a challenge for me. The gambling industry fascinates me. I've always wanted to dig deeper and analyze it, and I think that naturally leads to a stronger position over time.
All right. Yeah, it's also very entertaining, and the people are open-minded.
Yes, that's something what I really like in this industry.
All right. So like I said, you built a reputation. At least at our conference, we know that you are incredibly sharp and serious on stage. But behind the scenes, you are also training for triathlons and doing some sports. So how do sports and law mix in your life? And does anyone help you balance how does one help balance the other?
About being serious, I think that probably comes from the nature of my profession, there is very little room for easy behavior. So maybe that's the reason. And yes, I do train for triathlons, although I'm not sure I still can call it training. I mostly do it for pleasure right now. For the past 4 years, I have competed in races, but this year I decided to take a break. My body needs rest, and I'm trying to listen to it. That doesn't mean I'm not working out. I am, but for enjoyment, not for performance. As a lawyer, I definitely need physical activity. Sport helps me disconnect and recharge my mind. And I've noticed that some kind of improvements in my work performance. Mostly, I think greater mental clarity. But as with everything, balance is the key. Triathlon can make it easy to lose sight of limits with 3 disciplines. It takes a lot of training hours. And I think I crossed the line a bit, which had some uncomfortable consequences. How do you feel it? Because I know that you are training duathlons mostly, yes? So those are very long hours of training. Do you feel sometimes your body is tired, or do you need sometimes rest?
Yeah, of course. And usually it's the long trainings are during the weekends when you were supposed to be resting from the other things you are doing during the week. So yeah, it's hard. Usually all these long trainings of 5-6 hours can drain your energy, and then you like sleep for 2 hours and the day is gone and it's already Monday. Everything starts over again. So yeah, it is.
Yes, exactly. That's the reason I decided to take a little break this year, because as I said, last 4 years was very difficult in the training context for me because I wanted to achieve some results. So right now, just easy and just it should be a pleasure for me. But of course, still love triathlon.
All right, good. So let's talk about the illegal gambling and enforcement in Poland. So in your view, what's the most frustrating legal blind spot when it comes to the stopping unlicensed operators today in Poland? Or maybe in general, you can also like highlight some other jurisdictions if you know about them.
The most frustrating issue is the inability to prosecute foreign operators running illegal operations. With domestic ones, it's not that much of a problem, but foreign ones, that's where the trouble starts. It's a technical issue. Even if Polish lawmakers explicitly provided tools to go after foreign operators, the law must still be enforceable in the operator's country of residence. And every country has different laws. Some won't allow their citizens to be held accountable under foreign legislation. Gambling isn't regulated at the European Union level. There is where international cooperation is crucial. And mainly, I know the point of Polish law view, but I heard about few cases. It was Germany players against Maltese operator, and Austrian players against Maltese operator. Yes, so I know, this is a problem internationally, that we have different laws in every country and different interests sometimes. Yes, so for Austria or Germany, in this case, they have interest to take their money back, but for Maltese operators, they need to have some. They have some arguments which represent them as legally entities, and they just reject to pay money back to players. So every country has their own arguments, and this is a loophole. internationally. And I think in the future, international cooperation will be well needed.
Yeah, in this case, I was speaking to a German lawyer in Vilnius, and he told me that there's some European laws that were invoked, and if successful, it will open a floodgate, and all European citizens could start asking for their money back from their losses if they played with unlicensed players, operators. It would mean the end of the gambling industry as it is.
Yeah, I follow information about this case, and I think, it will be something big in the industry. So we are waiting for that, and we'll see. Actually, I think in the future, European Union will have a need to set some international rules for everyone. Right now, everyone can set their own rules, but in the future, because of cases like this, it might be a need to set some common rules for gambling industry.
Yeah, there are some lawyers in Germany that they are already advertising themselves as you want to get your money back from your losses from gambling. So yeah, it will be something very interesting to see.
Yeah, right.
All right. So you also spoken about in an interview we saw that how only 38% of the Polish players can spot a legal site, and I think it's not just the Polish players. I think this is more general thing in Europe or around the world. Many people will not spot which is the legal site in a regulated jurisdiction. So is that a failure of regulation, communication, or is it both?
Both.
Okay, good.
I think players choosing illegal operators often do so because of high taxes, which make legal offers less attractive. Illegal platforms can offer better odds and bonuses, and the fact that players can't recognize legal sites from illegal sites, I think that's a communication failure. There haven't been adequate companies to clearly show which games are legal and which are not. Instead of just maintaining a list of licensed operators on government websites, I would introduce a special legal certification badge that links directly to the official list. And sure, such badges could be forged, but the redirect to the government site could make all the difference.
All right, so some have it, but for instance, in Romania now they are thinking about increasing the taxes for the players with 30% or something like that. And this would definitely drive the players to the black market. Most definitely.
Sure. I have my own opinion about this topic, that sometimes the state can, do things totally different. Like instead of making very high taxes, which is the same, those are profits to illegal side, because when taxes are very high, they can make better offers. Yeah. So the state should control gambling industry in different ways. Of course, I'm not saying without taxes, because we know this activity can be harmful, but still, I think there are some ways to do it better and fight against gray zone or illegal at all.
All right. So as a player, you go on a website and you don't care about these badges. You mentioned that badge, but they don't even care. Like they get on the website, click on the accept all cookies because they don't care either. And come on, quickly hit that betting button.
Yeah, you're right. Mostly players, they know that they play at the illegal sites and don't care about badges. But on the other hand, I really know there is part of players who actually don't know how to recognize if it's legal or if it's not. And they are not searching, internet, to check whether this is legal or not. So maybe if we will have something very recognizable, it will make something easier to check whether you're playing legal or illegally. So of course, as everywhere, you have two sides. Yeah? Players who don't care and players who wish to know, but they just don't know. So,
so simple way for this knowledge gap to be addressed without overwhelming the player, right?
Yeah, and better communication through social media, through influencers, the same channels which are used by illegal operators.
All right. So many think that influencers are just like a fun marketing tool. But we also saw online some research you did about this promotion of illegal gambling. So, what makes social media such a loop for illicit activities, and how do we close that?
Again, this comes down to international regulation. It's easier to avoid responsibility for promoting gambling, which in Poland is generally prohibited and only allowed under strict conditions. Big tech companies are based in other countries and are hard to convince to follow Polish law, since that would hurt their profits. Influencers often run their promo companies from abroad to avoid liability. If law enforcement paid closer attention to this, we could curb the problem. Polish law does provide tools. The Penal Fiscal Code prohibits advertising or promoting gambling, and the Penal Code includes provisions on aiding and abetting. Anyone who helps commit a prohibited act, such as organizing illegal gambling, can be held liable as if they were the perpetrator. The tools are there. We just need to make more effort to use them. Recently, there was a high-profile case in Poland involving an influencer organizing gambling lotteries. Of course, I won't comment on whether it was legal or not. Opinions are divided. But I think it should serve as a warning to others. Sometimes it's worth to asking yourself whether money is really worth your freedom, for example.
All right. Yeah, we know cases that arrests have been made and stuff like that. Yeah,
sure. It
depends.
It happens. Yeah. So if it comes to gambling industry, we need to be very careful.
Yeah. So yeah, some might say that, of course, I'm going to hit the money somewhere in, I don't know, Katowice, and then I'll go to jail for 1 year and come out as a rich man. So yeah.
Yeah, sure. But, it depends, because always at some time, prosecutors, they have tools to take every money you earn from it. So then you will spend some time in jail, and then you will have no money at all. Of course, I suppose there are some ways, but let's tell that we don't know about it, nothing.
Okay, good. So you've been also part of the recent high-level discussions around the liberalization of the gambling market in Poland. So do you feel that the policymakers are really listening to you guys? Because I know I saw some photos and I saw some videos about the participants there. So are they really listening, or is it still like a lot of one-way communication from the industry side and they're not listening because they were probably held up by the elections, they did not care about this?
Whether they are listening or not, they will have to address the issue sooner or later. Around 40% of Poland's online casino gambling market is in the gray zone. That's no small figure.
That's 40.
40 or 41 even. I think
That's
more 41. Yeah, last time I read about 41. But I'm talking only about online casino industry, not about, betting. So at a recent finance and gambling conference, the president of the Polish Chamber of Bookmaking Industry mentioned 65 billion złotych turnover from the gray market. This is around 15 billion euro. That's a real loss for the country. Technology is evolving rapidly, while the Gambling Act hasn't been updated in nearly 9 years. This needs attention. Ignoring it could have serious consequences. So, as I said, sooner or later, we need to do something about it. Government needs to do something about it.
All right. I know that there are not that many large operators for sports betting. Like maybe could you point out who are the ones on the casino side? Because I'm really interested in that. So are the operators who are providing like Superbet, LVBet are also providing the casinos online or not?
No. In Poland, we have state monopoly for online casino.
Okay.
Yeah, and there is only, state company who can run it.
Okay,
it's totalizator sportowy. So,
okay.
Yeah, the monopoly isn't the best resolution to fight against, gray zone. That's the reason we have 31% of gray zone in this industry. Because in betting industry, when you can just obtain a license and make this kind of business here in Poland, we have only 12.5%, if I remember good, percent of gray zone. So This is a big difference. Yeah. And that's the reason, of course, industry see chances in, liberalization, online casino, because they know how to do this. They have tools, because usually they are international and they make this kind of casino business abroad, everywhere. But in Poland, we have state monopoly. And I think this kind of situation is only in Europe. I'm talking about Europe. In Poland, Finland, but Finland only till 2026, because they changed the law. Also, they saw that it's not working right as they suppose. And Austria, if I remember good.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make some kind of mistake, but I think that it's Austria, Poland, Finland, and that's it in Europe when it comes to state monopoly.
All right. So we know that we have about 4-5% of our listeners from Poland, based on the statistics from our back end, and now a Polish guy is listening to the podcast, and he realizes that they've been scammed by an illegal site. So legal options sound a bit complex, and I'm interested in what's the first practical thing someone should do in this situation. And maybe you can point out what they can do emotionally and legally.
It's true. In Poland, we have a bizarre legal setup where a player participating in an illegal or foreign operated gambling game can be fined under fiscal penal law. So if they fall victim to fraud or unethical practices, they are often afraid to report it. My advice, don't panic. Easy to say if you're a lawyer, if you're at this site. But don't panic and calmly analyze your options. I always recommend trying to resolve the issue amicably first, either with the casino or with the payment service providers involved. Going to court is an option, but it's costly and risky. Polish civil law tends to protect players who use legal operators. Still, there are other provisions in the civil code one might use. If that route proves ineffective or too risky, I suggest initiating criminal proceedings and requesting leniency. pointing out that players' voluntary admission and unintentional actions. If authorities accept that, they will focus on prosecuting the illegal operator instead. If not, well, a financial penalty might follow. It's a bit of lottery. I will add that players can also take their case to European Court of Justice, but of course, this is after this country level. And as we said, there is ongoing case involving German players and the Maltese operator. So it might influence other cases. And maybe in the future, it will be easier to find some resolution based on this case.
All right, so I will be the devil's advocate over here, because in some of the cases in the Austrian and German are pointing about millions of losses. Only one player has reported around 10 million, which is very strange. Like you cannot lose that amount of money on sports betting so easily. But who's to prove you didn't?
Yeah, first time I heard about such an amount. 1 million, I think it's possible to just lose it at the online casino. I had some of cases like this because players sometimes call me because, they link that I'm a lawyer from gambling industry and they call me, they ask me about their cases. So 1 million, I can agree it's possible, but 10 millions, like everywhere, there are two sides. One side
depends.
It's clear and I suppose it's true, and the other side probably they try to get back more than they put on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, two sides. Everyone has their own arguments. So.
Yeah, I'm going to stick to this topic because I don't know if you know the case in the Baltic area in Lithuania. Last year or 2 years ago, the manager of the pension fund has taken 16 million euros from the fund and gambled it. So maybe he can apply to get that money back as well.
Yes, I didn't. I haven't heard about this case. But
it's now it has. Now it has blown away. So, but it's still in the air in Lithuania, by the way. So So as you mentioned, and I found out that Poland has the state monopoly for online casinos, and I'm interested in from a legal standpoint. What would be the pros and cons of opening this market up? So especially in terms of consumer protection, would it be possible to let go of the monopoly and have licenses for online casinos, and what would it involve for players?
So I will start from pros. A diverse offer from legal operators would attract players from the grey market to the legal side. That keeps more money in the country through taxes, employment, and broader economic gains. Legal operators also offer better tools to monitor and prevent gambling addiction, such as self-exclusion or spending limits, tools that illegal operators don't provide. Contrary to appearances, liberalization could increase state oversight because more companies would shift from the grey to the legal market. Under the current monopoly, the state can't control operators in the grey zone. And what is from cons? More available options and better offers could make gambling more popular. And this form of entertainment does have a dark side, let's be honest. So I think this is the main con.
Okay, good. So your work makes law, ethics, and a lot of high pressure decision making. So does your training give you an edge when it comes to managing stress, staying focused, or handling these legal, like we can call it, marathons?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every triathlon I've competed in has taught me lessons I apply in my legal career. Lessons on leaving your comfort zone, on controlling your thoughts, on self-regulation. Triathlon have showed me I'm capable of more than I thought, that limits are just in our heads. You probably also had this feeling during some
Yeah.
races. And it also taught me humility. Yeah, I think humility and the value of knowing when to let go. Sometimes, sometimes it's better to easy up at the right moment than push too hard and suffer the consequences of overdoing it.
All right. So you have all this training, mental clarity, and you're looking now ahead to the future. So if you had the power to rewrite only one part of the Poland's gambling regulation overnight, you stay up late, you write the law, what would you change and why? Maybe somebody will hear it.
I would eliminate if it's only one thing, because I see a lot of things which we could change. But if it comes to one thing, I would eliminate the state monopoly over a large part of gambling industry sector. I'm not a fan of monopolies. The state can secure revenue in other ways. Not only through taxes. Of course, this sector carries risks, but those risks can be managed differently. And the state monopoly, it was the topic of my dissertation, and I focused really well about good size and bad size of it. And this is also the conclusion of my dissertation. Let's note that private entrepreneurs in Poland have been allowed to operate in the bookmaking business, and now the gray market in this segment accounts for just over 12% or something more, as I said. This was stated by a representative of the Ministry of Finance. Let's compare it to 40 or 41% gray market in online casino segment. These figures speak for themselves. Yes, a monopoly is not a silver bullet here.
All right. So what are the plans for the summer?
For the summer?
Yeah.
Actually, I had plans, but they changed. And right now, I don't have clear plan for the summer besides work, of course. I'm kidding. I will spend some time on a lake, but then Portugal, but on September. So I already have tickets, but I need to wait a little bit. I don't know if I can call September summer, but still it will be vacay time for me. So Portugal is the main goal.
All right. So, Justyna, thank you so much for your time and for our audience for sticking around. And
Thank you,
if you have
Zoltan.
some parting words, you want to give some shout outs.
If First, I want to thank you for inviting me to this podcast. This is really a pleasure, Zoltan. And what can I say at the end? If you have some doubts, whatever it comes to Polish market, just you can write a message to me on LinkedIn or other social media, and we can talk. Don't hesitate to contact with me.
All right. Thank you so much. And yeah, you can find Justyna on LinkedIn, connect with her, or you can find her in Warsaw at our conference in autumn,
Yeah, right.
30 and
Right.
31st. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
I can't
European
wait,
Gaming.
definitely.
Yeah. So there's not much time until then. So make sure to book your seats. We will see you in Warsaw in October. So take good care, everyone. See you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap for this section of Hipther Talks. Thank you for being a part of our journey today. Don't forget to tune in next week for more insights and discussions. Stay connected with us on Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and more. Until then, keep exploring and keep growing. We'll see you next time.